Let's talk about differences. There's a difference between customer service and customer obsession. Customer service is about what we should do. Obsession, on the other hand, is about what we must do and will do. We will live our customers' lives every single minute of every single day. We will own their problems so that they can own our solutions. And if we cannot find them, we will invent them. In order to do this, we will not just answer questions. We will also question answers about our network, our pricing, our billing, our channels, and even our hierarchies. We will look at every complaint as an opportunity to turn one more customer into a fan. Because we will not just pass the buck. We will stop it. We will be brutally honest about what we can't do and quietly proud about what we can. In so doing, we will come to be known not just as a telecom company that also provides customer service, but a customer-obsessed company that also provides telecom. Because every single one of us, from the top to the bottom, will now answer to one and only one person: our customer.
I am Airtel.
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 I guess I've been talking all this while being on mute. So let me unmute myself. Hi, everybody. A big welcome, everyone, to iCreate 2020. This is the big launch event for Airtel, of course, given the focus for us in the sector. As the name suggests, we would be sharing details of the quiz contest, unveiling the case studies today, and we'll follow it up with a candid chat session with leaders from Airtel. I can assure you the next 30 minutes will be nothing short of engaging and exciting for you all. I hope you can hear me, and I hope I'm not on mute now. I don't think I am. As India's largest integrated telecommunication service provider, at Airtel, we handle a breadth of innovation, and we're completely obsessed with our customers and delivering the best for them. Airtel ignited the telecom revolution in India, and over the last 25 years, we've had a host of industry firsts to our credit. And we are always on a lookout for collaborators who share our vision and are driven by the spirit of making a large-scale impact. To introduce you to this vision, I will now invite Adarsh Nair, our Chief Product and Experience Officer, on the panel. Adarsh.
Thanks, Nubunta. And hello, everybody. Very happy that you're all here. You're the best and brightest of the nation. So we thought it's important for us to share with you a little bit about Airtel's vision. And today's case studies will be reflections of some of the true innovations we are driving within this vision. So it's only appropriate that we walk you through how we are thinking about the future. So with that, I'm just going to shift to a presentation. And if that's okay, I'm just going to shift the screen.
Sure, Adarsh. Sure.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Okay, let's see how this works. I am having some trouble sharing. Let's see, 1 second. Just let me know if you guys can see it now. Do you see the presentation?
We can't see it.
All right. So sorry, give me a second. Let me just work through this. There are some technical challenges here. Okay, let me do this. I'm just going to walk you through the vision because Chrome is preventing me from sharing. So that's fine. This is going to be that moment where, you got to make the pitch and the presentation's not working. So I'm going to do it without it. So everybody, 2 years ago, Airtel embarked on a very interesting journey. I would call it was yet another moment to innovate. And innovation has been a part of the company's DNA for the last 20 years. And this time around, it was a very interesting scenario. Telecom as a sector was really asking the existential question of what's the future going to look like. That's one way to look at it. When I think about that particular moment, I also thought about it as one of the biggest opportunities that a sector could have. And true innovation comes when there is hunger, a real challenge in terms of how do you apply a minimal amount of funds to truly create new value in the market. And so that was that moment 2 years ago that we were faced with. And like any other company, what we focused our attention to was talent. Within Airtel, there was a very big movement to bring in new blood, partner with the folks who are already at this company, driving hard the agenda of the telecom business, and combine that with what we call now the digital part of the company. So digital and telecom came together to reinvent ourselves. And we set forth on a new mission to go drive new value. And that's what I'll be sharing with you today. And the thesis of the vision lies not too far from some of the most popular companies that you're all aware of today. So when you think about an Amazon or a Google, all these companies have at the heart a core flywheel. They all have a core business around which they have created moats, they have created new pieces of value. So when you think about Airtel, the way we've thought about it is we are at the heart a telecom company. And you saw the video earlier today. We're very proud about it. We're a telecom company. We're here for our customers, and we're very customer obsessed. Now, when you're customer obsessed, what naturally comes with it is you tend to listen to your customers and hear their problems and say, wow, there is something we've got to go solve that's going to really make the lives of our customers better. So the first thing, we are a telecom company. Now, when you say we're a telecom company, what does Airtel do? We have a mobility business that caters to roughly 300 million customers. We have a DTH business that serves close to 20 million homes. We have a broadband business that is young. We serve about 2 million homes, and that's growing fast. And finally, we also serve most of India's businesses. So 2,000 enterprises, more than 1 million SMBs are our customers today. And we provide them a variety of services based on connectivity. So that is the core of who we are. Now, when we deeply thought about our future, what we realized was from that core, there are certain strengths that we can derive. When you think about Amazon, when they built their book business, and as a part of the book business, they started the cloud business on the side. And that cloud business today is called AWS, right? So that is a strength that they extracted from their core business. So very similar to that, when you think about Airtel's core business, there are 4 strengths that are innate to our company. And the first strength is network. And you all know this, right? Network is something that we do. It's a part of our life. But wouldn't it be pretty phenomenal if we could platformatize that network? What we are using for ourselves, can we actually make it infrastructure as a service play and provide it to everybody using an API? So that is network as a platform. We have distribution as a platform. We deliver to 300 million customers. If we can deliver a product to 300 million customers, why can we not make that a pipe by which other businesses can deliver services to our customers? So that becomes distribution. And on the same vein, we can talk about data and we can talk about payments. And when you think about Airtel, roughly 5 billion rupees flow through our network every month. It's a lot of money that flows through us, right? Because people have to pay us for our services. And that is one of the biggest charters that this company is focused on in the coming months. So network, distribution, data, and payments. These are the four strengths that 2 years ago, this company started extracting from the core business. And now when you have such platforms, a very interesting leg of the business emerges. And I call it playing with Legos. So if I have these four boxes, what can I do with these four boxes? Now, this is where your imagination runs wild, right? The new businesses we can create from these four boxes, these four strengths, are actually innumerable. And I'm going to give you an example of a product that we released to market just 2 weeks ago. It is called Airtel IQ. It is a cloud communications platform. It helps businesses connect to customers seamlessly through voice, SMS, and a variety of other formats. Now let's break that down. How exactly is that product built? Well, we took network as a platform. We took data as a platform, combined it, provided an API service to businesses to go make call connections. You want to pick a number, talk to the API. You can pull that number. You want to connect that number to a consumer, again, through API, you can make that workflow. All of that is because of network as a platform. And then, of course, once you make all these connections, you need data to improve those workflows. You need data to understand what's working, what's not. That's where a data platform comes in. So you bring these two blocks together, you get Airtel IQ, which is one of the businesses we've launched. Now today, just for this group, I do also want to share with you that there are many other incubations that is running in the company. Think about distribution and data. When they come together, what naturally emerges is advertising. If I can actually target customers, deliver to them a message that is relevant using data insights, you actually begin an advertising business. So that's another incubation. I believe you're going to see a case around that particular incubation today. Think about surveillance. We are a business that actually brings DTH boxes to people's homes, broadband routers to people's homes. Well, then, would it be too hard to actually go have a surveillance camera in the same home? We've already platformatized the ability for one of our workforce agents to go put these in people's homes. We already have the network and the cloud sitting in our network platform. So to host the video, etc., that's very natural. And finally, of course, when it comes to payments, we already have a billing relationship with our customers. So surveillance is another business that is sitting at the edge of our strengths, and that's part of our new business. So taking a step back, we are a telecom company. And from the telecom company emerges four strengths, which is network, distribution, data, and payments. And from there emerges new businesses, whether it's Airtel IQ, whether it's advertising, whether it's surveillance. And the last leg of our strategy is, if we have these four platforms, do we build every business? No, we don't. We're very focused on building the businesses that's at the edge of our strengths. Everything else, we leave it to our partners. Whether it's healthcare, whether it's agri-tech, any of these areas where we are not the experts, we today leverage these platforms and give these platforms to our best partners. So together, we can innovate and help India. We have big partnerships with the likes of Apollo in the healthcare space. We've got a partnership with HDFC in the insurance space. And all these partnerships deliver incredible products to the market, leveraging our platform strengths and the capabilities of our partners. 2 years ago, with the HDFC partnership, we launched a revolutionary insurance in India where for less than a rupee a day, a consumer in India can actually buy insurance through a prepaid plan. And why we did that is because we broke down the price so that it became affordable and it became easy to pay, because everybody in India knows how to buy a recharge or a prepaid plan. So we took away all the barriers and took that product to market. And by definition, it's an innovation. So those are the kind of partnerships that fill this or complete this circle, where things that we cannot do on our own, we work with our partners and we deliver. So in a nutshell, this is how Airtel operates today. Our opportunity is endless because these platforms are here to stay. And between the platforms, we are able to now incubate new businesses at the fraction of a cost relative to actually building those businesses outside. And then to our partners, we're able to expand everywhere. So I want to stop there for a second. And this is the vision that we'll be laying out. And as the course of today continues, you will hear about some very exciting cases that attacks the same problems our product managers here at Airtel work on every day. So, with that, let me conclude and thank you all for taking the time to be here today.
Thank you so much, Adarsh. It's always a pleasure to hear you. The kind of passion that you bring to the table. It's incredible. Thank you so much. And I don't think anyone really required a presentation to. Thank you so much, Adarsh, for that. So now that you all know a little more about Airtel as a brand, what we believe in, and what our vision is, it's time for us to now invite Abhishek Biswal, our product leader, to launch the case studies and maybe talk us through a little bit about what you can expect from this. Abhishek.
Hi guys, it's super cool having all of you here, and I think when we did this the last time, it was so exciting that the entire product team wanted to be part of one case or the other, right? And they wanted to actually go down to their college days, try and solve it. So this is, I mean, it's a nostalgic feeling, going back to all the hackathons, all the business case studies that I've done when I was in college, and it's I mean, all the best to you guys. I think we look forward to reading all your solutions and working with you guys to sort of bring you into our ecosystem, open our house to you, show you what problems we have. So Adarsh actually summarized all three cases very well, right? So what we did was we actually wanted to take a very practical approach to the cases that we give out, right? And in this case, we've taken three of the most exciting problem statements at Airtel and given them out as three cases. What we've also done is we tried to build a flavor of different mixes. So if you look at the three cases, the first one is the curious case of surveillance, which essentially is building an upcoming category in India. So surveillance is a category which is on the rise. A lot of us are seeing increase requirements and customer needs of being able to look after their near and dear ones. The access and advent of camera and video technology is driving this change. A lot of it is around connectivity. In fact, if you remember the earlier days, camera used to be a large DVD recorder sort of device at home, or in the office. Someone would go every evening, try and retrieve these tapes, change these tapes back, and then sit back and watch these, right, to see what's going on. I think that is completely revolutionized. I have a camera at home which I can view on my smartphone wherever I am, right? So I think the category is exploding, right? So which is also our first case where we think that you will be challenged both in terms of building a category, understanding the customer, figuring out a solution. Solution would be at the confluence of hardware, software, and business innovation. So I think it's a very interesting case. It's almost like a new business, a new service, like which Airtel can launch. So we do three very large connectivity businesses around broadband, DTH, and mobility. I think this is a very exciting business that someone like Airtel could venture. So it's a business case study. It's got the horizontal and the vertical of both business and product innovation. The second case is adverse dilemma, which is our advertising problem statement. Today, Airtel collectively processes more data than two of the largest advertisers in the world, and we all know who they are. We process more data than them. We have in-depth knowledge of customer, not just in terms of their demographics or clickstream data. We also understand in detail where they physically are and what they've been doing. We understand their social graph in terms of who do they talk to, who are their friends, how does a person navigate through the social graph, right? So we have very detailed understanding. I think this is it's an upcoming problem statement in advertising, which has been, I mean, the market leaders in advertising have done fairly well, right, to innovate and come out with how companies advertise, how companies get into transactions. This problem statement will actually challenge you to the level of thinking differently from what the Googles and the Facebooks of the world have been doing. And it's to me it's super innovative, because to a lot of us, if you wake us up in the morning and say advertising mein kuch naya karte hain, we'll be like, we will start scratching our head saying, but hasn't Google done all of it? Right? Hasn't Facebook done something? But remember, Facebook came up and did something great after Google. Amazon came up after both of them and did something greater. So I think from that point of view, there is a level of innovation that you could do with advertising. this is purely a very different kind of innovation. Our expectation is for you to understand what the business is, what is data, what are companies in India doing, what are opportunities to advertise, and how do you sort of do the product market fit here. The last one is the closest and the dearest to the telco, which is how do we become the next generation of telco. Today, the strengths we have, very well articulated by others, are almost things that are used by us internally. If we were to open this house out to any company that would come in and innovate, right? And how do we do that? How do we abstract the strengths that we have, and how do we offer them to the outside world? Is this problem statement. So what we're essentially saying is we will open up the network to anyone who can come and build a product across around it, right? I'll give you an example. Today, whenever you call or whenever you order food on Zomato, right, you see a little number that you call. That number is not the delivery boy's number. That's a mask number which connects you to the delivery boy, right? This is what we call connectivity as a service, which a company has bought. So what the company has done is, in order to protect the identities of both the user and the delivery boy, they've just put a mask number on the side, right? A simple small innovation has led to a large business around call masking, right? And this business today can be worth a couple of $1 billion, right? Just a couple of such use cases, right? So this is genuinely taking connectivity as a service, create a platform around this connectivity, and build very cute innovative ideas around it, which are product market fits, and figure out, how can you create use cases, right? So if you look at these three categories, right, we've given you a problem statement which is deep industry building, which is build a category, hardware, software, go to market, understand the pricing, understand the physical form factor, understand the GTM, and build it out. Second, purely digital business around advertising. Connect consumer with the advertiser, make money as a margin, create innovative advertising products, and take them to market, right? The third is a purely digital network problem statement, very very different from the first two, where you create products at the edge. You remain a value addition only at the top of the telco, but you make a super amount of gross value, right, on top. What we are expecting, right, and the reason we gave out three different sort of problem statements, what we understand that you have your own interests, you would like to solve one or the other. I can take time off and try and solve all three of them. But I would still suggest that you try and solve one at a time. What we are looking for is in your solutions is essentially your understanding of the customer. For us, that is where the business starts, or anything starts, right? Evaluating, creating a good product market fit, understanding what the value proposition is for that customer, building out an early start of a GTM strategy, saying how will we take our product to market, how will the customer consume it, building out some pricing and revenue model, which is what is your strategy, how would you want to price initially, how would you want to scale this product, what will the company look like in a couple of years from today. And in the end, where the sort of the math comes down is build out a PNL, minimum of a 3-year PNL, for us to understand what you are thinking. In my opinion, all these cases give you the opportunity to become a mini CEO, right? And there are two things, right? You are responsible for the life of this business. You are responsible from creating this business from scratch. What we will do is we can put the power of Airtel behind it. So what you will see in each one of these cases is a short note in terms of the value adds that Airtel will put in, and the scaling effectiveness that Airtel will give you at the beginning. And this is a dream come true, right? Which is all of us have had our ambitions and aspirations to become an entrepreneur. The one thing that we struggle is how do we get to the first 300, 3,000, 300,000 customers. The fun part is Airtel promises you access to 300 million customers on day one of your product being delivered, right? So all the best, guys. Pick the most interesting problem statement out of the lot. I think that's half your battle won. Challenge yourself, innovate, think of think of how you would want to solve the problem for a customer, and there's no limit to what you guys can achieve. So all the best, and I look forward to reviewing your solutions.
Thank you so much, Abhishek. Thank you for sharing the overview there, and the 300 million number that's really exciting. The kind of access, they will get to create their own solution. So thank you so much, Abhishek, for that. Moving on with that, I would now like to invite Sagar on the panel to talk us through our people agenda at Airtel, the opportunities ahead, and the scope to deliver their best. Sagar.
This year, I think we wanted to kind of choose this theme of innovation, because that's one thing which probably we have to tell people. We have not right now reached the stage that people know about this, right? Still, sometimes people ask about what is this digital Airtel, right? So this is one way we want to kind of tell people that we want to, we are serious about it. We are building businesses. And some of the business we have already built, and innovation is the continuous theme. Even when we launched our services to now, there have been a lot of innovations, from launching a 4G to say e-recharge, then Thanks as a platform. We have been doing innovation throughout our journey of Airtel. And this year we thought we will make this thing interesting, because what is in it for you? So normally there are cash prizes, right? Normally there are typically some goodies, etc. But this year we have also kind of taken a path which we have not taken in last few years. We are actually this time, if we really like the idea, if we really like the idea, there are three options. You take the prize money, right? Which is 10 lakhs for the winner. Second is 5 lakhs, and then third is 2.5 lakhs. And then there are at each and every stage there are certain prizes. So it's like gamification. As you cross the level, you get into some sort of take some of the prize monies along with you. The second option, which is typically we would actually invite you to sit with our team and be part of incubation, right? We'll put some seed fund, right? If you really like your idea, right? So that's like a mini startup with the access to 300 million customers. Adarsh has been investing in, or Airtel has been investing in a lot of startups which we have which we feel that we will probably we have interest in those, right? But yes, this is a theme wherein we can actually put you in incubation team directly. And third is, of course, your PPIs. All the winners get the chance to kind of appear for the final placements, right? So very exciting. I think we'll launch now. Then there are stages, which is first is we'll evaluate you at the first stage. Then second stage, then we'll assign a mentor to you. Mentor will be people who are actually working on these problems, right? And top 15 teams will have mentors, and they will guide them through for 3 weeks, and they'll be part of the presentation. So your mentor will be co-owning you, right? Or the solution, right? So it's a very exciting thing, right? If you have a curiosity and you're willing to kind of innovate or incubate, I think this is a great opportunity and a great platform for you. Yeah, all the best, guys, and we'll look forward to interacting with you, at least the top teams. Nipunta, you are on mute.
For some reason, I don't know why do I always end up keeping myself on mute. But thank you so much, Adarsh, Abhishek, and Sagar, for taking us through the details. I mean, this really sounds very cool. And just to make it a little more interesting for you to understand how to crack, the big case study, we have with us Amandeep. He's the winner of iCreate 2019, of course, from last year, and he's going to share some secret, tips as he was telling us. Amandeep, what's the big secret that you're going to talk about here?
Yeah, thank you, Nipunta. So actually, Abhishek covered it all. So the main thing is you have to think like an entrepreneur. You have to own the problem statement that has been given to you. So what you have to do is try to be as far as possible.
Amandeep, just come closer to the. Just get the speaker closer to your mouth, I guess, the mouthpiece or something. Yeah. Yeah, go on.
Yeah,
go on.
am I audible? saying it's about owning the problem statement that you have chosen among the three. And after that, try to build a solution after having a thorough research and building a simple yet to the point financial. So as Abhishek sir covered that, you need to build a 3-year P&L statement so that you can understand that whether your solution is sustainable and scalable or not. So that's a very important thing. And other than that, having an insightful analytics is really important. So as I said, Abhishek sir covered it all, and today it's quite a nostalgic feeling for me to see everyone over here at the launch of Airtel iGrade cases. Now, so trust me guys, it's going to be an exciting couple of weeks for you all. So from the last year, as you remember, our team started planning our approach for solving the case right after the case launch. And me and Ritesh, our team, we both were in different cities as the holidays were going on. So I can understand the upcoming challenges for those of you who are in different parts of the country right now. It will be difficult, but teamwork will be become a very vital factor in this situation. So last year, both of us had been participating together in case competitions since our very first year. So we actually had a great coordination among us, and we knew each other's strengths. So we had discussions on a regular basis on each aspect of the cases, what channels should be utilized for the primary and secondary research, so etc. These are the basic things that we covered in our discussion. So it's important to have a regular discussion on a daily basis. And yeah, after that, I will give you an example. Last year, as we both were in different cities, so it wasn't feasible for us to start a primary research going on the ground. So what we did was we executed a simple telephonic interviews of the different people at the different stages of the value chain, so that we could understand the pain points of the customers that the problems which they faced. So now you can imagine our happiness when we heard that we had been selected among the 3 wildcard entries last year. So as it is this year, we had to compete among 15 teams in the grand finale, which consisted of 2 sub-rounds. So basically, in the first sub-round, the 5 teams were selected in the second sub-round. And after that, we got to learn quite a lot by the insights shared by Adarsh, Sagar sir. And yeah, so our mentor, most importantly, were giving their support for us throughout the whole journey, right from being shortlisted for the finale to the day of the grand finale. So that was really great help for us. And so for the teams who are participating this year, so all the teams who will be selected in the grand finale, all of them will have brilliant innovative ideas, but it will all come down to who has prepared the most holistic business plan. Last year, we were able to win just because of our final research and the justifications we were able to give to prove the sustainability and scalability of our design business model. So that was the major reason that which helped me got a BPO in the company. And so after joining Airtel this year, it has been nothing sort of a fairy tale journey. And we have been given a wonderful welcome in the organization, even in such unpredictable times. And the most importantly, the learning has been immense, and we have been given the freedom and the support to actually execute our ideas on the ground. And so I would like to point out one thing, that last year it was the first edition of product case, and this year we are totally having 3 product cases. So that's a big evolution of Airtel iGrade, you can say. And so yeah, talking about the case, product management is all about building a business from the scratch and making sure that you have been exhaustive while considering the possible challenges which may occur at a later stage. And just try to imagine yourself in the shoes of an entrepreneur and try to build a plan which can be implemented in the next 1 year. And yeah, so I'll be looking forward to meet the few of you who will get a preview. And as my last few words, I will say, enjoy the process. Don't focus on the end result, and just give wings to your ideas. Wishing you all a very best for the competition.
Thank you so much, Amandeep. I was just about to come to that only. Of course, with all the hard work, don't forget to have fun. That's what at Airtel we usually always say. So we're going to open up the platform for the Q&A as well. Of course, Adarsh is there, Abhishek is there, Sagar is there to answer your questions with regard to the organizational vision, expectations out of the contest, and of course, other questions that you may have. So we do already have a couple of questions already, and I'm going to also encourage others to send in their questions. So the first question is, since the cases are focused on product innovation, do we also have to create product prototypes or sample feature designs in the case solution? Abhishek, would you like to take that?
Sure. Yeah. Thank you, Nimunta. So at this point, if you look at the cases, right, across surveillance or advertising or telco 2.0, right, I think we are not looking for product prototypes. We are okay with prototypes not being there. However, sample feature designs, right, they always help. So if you come up with, or if you can come up with visual representation of what your solution is, it'll work wonders, right? Having said that, remember what the focus is. The focus is customer and product market fit. Use whatever products you want to try and focus on that, and to be able to communicate that well, right? Others, do you want to add something?
No, I think you covered it all.
Okay.
All right.
Okay, I guess the next question, Abhishek, you've covered it already because it talks about the expectations from the participants in terms of approach to the case study. Would you like to maybe elaborate a little bit, or I guess you've covered it already? Yeah.
I covered parts of it,
Yeah.
in the
Previous.
original dialogue,
Yeah.
right? But again, I can reiterate: focus on the customer, look at the product market fit, create a value proposition that you want to take to market, brief aspects of your GTM strategy in terms of how do you want to take products to market, your selection of channel, online versus offline, early ideas on pricing, and of course end with a 3-year P&L, right? So I think if you break your presentation or your solution down into these 6 sort of boxes, it'll give you a good structure.
Sure.
I'll build on that. There's just one thing I tell my leadership team and the product managers here at Airtel. Whenever you build your case, so all the structure of how to approach the case, build the case, Abhishek has walked you through, Amandeep has walked you through. But there's a very interesting test to see if what you are writing, what you are building makes sense, which is ask yourself the question, if you had 10 lakhs in your bank account, the prize money, would you invest that in this business that you just wrote up? And if the answer is no, revisit again. Something is wrong. So this goes back to, you are the CEO. It is your business. You should feel very comfortable investing your life savings in that business. Only then does that make sense. And if you think like that, it truly will extract the idea of, yeah, when I land this in the market, consumers will buy it. Because that's the level of confidence I have in this case I've written, right? So that's just a very interesting way to test whether you're on the right track or you're just writing a lot of English, right? Versus making market sense. There we go.
Sure, Adarsh. That was a great tip, Adarsh. Yes. The next question we have is: do we have to create a new solution altogether, or improvise on an existing service product with new features? Abhishek.
So I think on this one, guys, it's up to you. For us, improvement is what we're looking at, and again, going back to the value proposition, right? You can create an altogether new value proposition just by tweaking an existing service, right? And there could be phenomenal value add. You could probably just think of how to change the GTM strategy of an existing product and not innovate, right? So innovation is not always around the base product. Innovation can be customer touch point, it could be product, it could be pricing, and others mentioned our HDFC insurance example, right? So we innovated on pricing, we innovated on the method of payment. This is the only life insurance policy which you do not have to give a document proof for. So we also innovated on how a customer gets a life insurance policy, right? And very interesting, your mobile number is your policy ID. So we actually looked at every little nuance of the insurance policy. We did not change anything. HDFC still offered a 4 lakh rupee cover on your death, right? The product remained the same. The go-to-market was innovated, right? So guys, innovate on where you think you will add the maximum value or where the problem of the customer is.
Sure. Abhishek, you've touched upon creation of an end-to-end solution or working on a pre-existing one. So the question that we have is that do we have to cover the financials as well? I guess you've touched upon that too.
Yeah, I think it'll make sense. You should
Yeah,
you should cover the financials and give it a good run. Like think around 3 years. Don't be very short term.
sure. The next question is, of course, you've been talking Adarsh as well, and Sagar and Abhishek. You spoke about the incubation opportunity at Airtel. Will we be working on new problems or the existing projects? I think you've covered that as well. But something more about the incubation opportunity that you're talking about, the whole entrepreneurial mindset of the organization. Adarsh, would you like to comment on that?
Yeah, so I actually want Biswal to go first because I think this
Okay,
is his master child, but I can build on that from there.
sure.
No, I think absolutely. So incubation is essentially your ability to start small and keep hitting over your head every 3 months, right? So when me and others were talking about what the right point of time is on evaluation, and how do you keep evaluating, and all of us like continuous evaluation, right? We said every 3 months. So I think what we've done is we've created a very nice structure at Airtel where we get to where anyone at Airtel can come up with an idea, right? And they present that to our incubation committee. Others, of course, chairs the incubation committee. If we see that there's a product market fit and the product or the innovation is on the edge of the telco, right? We then start bringing it into what we call an incubator, right? What we do with the incubator is we offer you, we want razor sharp focus on the product itself. So we take away your pain on infrastructure, on hiring, on financials, right? And we put Airtel quality solutions on them, right? And these are all available to you, right? And today we have 5 incubations that are thriving at Airtel, right? And remember, we are less than 2 years old in this piece, right? So we've taken 2 years and we've built out our first 5 incubations. Each one of them today promises to become large unicorns in the country, right? So that's what my idea of an incubation is. Will you be working on new problems and existing projects? Again, going back to the previous answer, innovation is around anything. You can build a product, you can build a service, you can change the way we go to market, right? And if you look at all the innovations that we have or incubation that we have around Airtel, is each one of them is an example of a different kind of innovation. They're not just new products, right? Adesh, do you want to add something on how we are faring today in our current incubations? And
Yeah. So guys, I think Abhishek covered the framework. The whole objective of the incubation unit is that we do want to decentralize the authority of building things, right? So there's one way, which is somebody sitting on top can say we have to build X. But what we lose out in that process is the innovation potential that each one of you bring. So there are two ways to think about the incubation unit. One is if you're sitting inside Airtel, how do we give a voice to our talent? The same I create competition. Why can that not be a part of life at Airtel? So if there is a team of engineers and product managers and business managers who come together and say, we want to kind of cook up what the next big idea for India or the world could be, we want to give a way for them to message that back to Airtel. And we can act as a venture capitalist. We can put the funding, we can help put the team together and give the full platform support that we walked you through to that business. And the individuals who pitched it, they become the CEO of that business. They run it with our advice, with our support. So that is what happens if you're inside Airtel. We have also managed to apply that same thinking outside of Airtel. So we also have a startup accelerator where if we find the same kind of talent outside Airtel, and for some reason they don't want to be inside, that's okay. We actually do a construct where we take a stake in their company, and in return for which we give them all these platforms that we talked about. So there, the company is sitting outside, yet it's an incubation for Airtel because there's a very deep and close partnership between the founder and Airtel, and we support them from the outside. So in both these scenarios, whether it's inside or outside, the objective is how do we give all the platforms that we have to this young talent, to this emerging talent, so that they can actually innovate and create solutions for India and the world. So that's the framing. And so far, we've done pretty well on the internal incubations. We've got 5 incubations that are as Viswal said, a bunch of cool new businesses, one of which we have announced. The others will be announcing soon. And on the startup accelerator, we've got 5 companies in it already, and that's also growing fast. So that's the nature of incubation at Airtel.
Adarsh, we've been hearing a lot about the content and app space, OTT, landscape. What are your views on that? How is Airtel doing when it comes to content and the app space? Because we've been talking a lot about digitalization, everything. So what are your views on that?
So it's a very broad topic. So let me try to summarize. And if you have a follow-up question, ask me.
Sure.
See, the entire distribution agenda, distribution as a service, it's very critical to have both digital and non-digital distribution, right? So, and I want to talk about both because that's critical. On the digital distribution, the app agenda becomes very critical. So today, across all of our apps, we've got about 160 million people touching us. And if you go back 2 years ago, that number was probably at the 20 to 30 million range. So there's a very concerted effort to grow the digital touchpoint of Airtel. So that's the strategy behind digital touchpoint. But what actually interests us even more, going back to Abhishek's request of just keep thinking beyond, we also touch another 300 million people on the ground offline. How about applying a digital kind of angle to that? There, what we have achieved is what I call assisted retail. So there's a digital app in the hands of the person who touches the customer. And using that app, we can actually send AI-based recommendations on what is the next product to actually talk to the customer about, or even help the customer with whatever problem that they're bringing to that particular agent. So there is that angle of assisted app to help the customer, and then of course the customer directly touching us digitally, which is our digital assets. Now there was a question about OTT, so I want to kind of segue into what is the strategy around entertainment, whether it is video, audio. Very complex space in India, and the reason why I say that is it's easy to get consumers. What's hard is to make money. And as you know, today with YouTube and all the free stuff available, it's a very interesting market. So there, our focus has been very simple. How do we truly innovate beyond the normal so we can actually monetize a service? Because we've got the reach. We've got, it's one of the largest music apps called Wink that we hold right now with close to 55 million users on that app. That part is not the hard problem for a company like Airtel. The problem is how do we create enough value that the consumer also recognizes our work and is willing to have a subscription relationship with us. So there, what we have done more recently is things like Wing Stage, where the artist can actually, through the app, now do an online concert. So those are the nature of innovations we are doing, where we are trying to get the artists, the creators directly connected to the consumer, and thereby making more value come to the app. And now you can think about ticket sales for the concerts and many other interesting things. So that's what's happening in music. Similarly, you can think about video. How about game streaming? How about esports gamers now actually performing is a very interesting word, on your video service? Those are the nature of things that we are thinking through so that we can really innovate India first. Because I say India first because when you think about esports, the whole world works on consoles and PCs. But in India, all of gaming is mobile. So how about we create a mobile-based esports service where we can stream and then add that value through the same digital video app, and thereby then have a monetization layer on top. So those are the thoughts in the OTT entertainment space that we are going after, where we do believe that the game needs to change. It needs to step up, and we're investing there.
Perfect. So Adarsh, follow-up question, any plans on the gaming part of it? We've been hearing anything on the gaming side of it?
We are very, very interested in the gaming space. So you already saw the big announcement with Nodwin, who is the largest esports league creator in India. So 95% of all esports flows through them. So we have a very strong partnership with them. And we've got some very interesting innovations in the pipeline, which I unfortunately cannot talk about today. But they'll be announced in the next couple of months. So gaming is very big for us. We're very focused there.
Perfect. So I'll encourage everyone to please put in their questions because we've got about 5-10 minutes to go more. So let's make the most of this time if you have any questions with regard to the contest per se. So we have a question which says, can we consider any new partnerships with other companies, highlighting the value addition to both parties, like the example you gave for HDFC? Abhishek, yeah.
I can
Yeah.
take that. So no, absolutely. I think in all the three problem statements, there are today a bunch of companies and startups out there that have independent value. I think bringing them together as an ecosystem is definitely a welcome solution. In fact, I think I just saw a couple of things, right? A couple of other questions on what is the most important factor on which the assessment will depend.
Yes.
Right? I think for me it is customer market fit, your creativity around the solution, and going after something which is achievable, right? So these are three more. I mean, at least for me, practicality, innovation, or creativity, and really understanding the need of the customer are the three most important things. If you can nail this through a bunch of build, partner, or acquire, everything, it opens your gambit to partnering, it opens up the gambit to acquiring a young startup. It could be something that you want to build for the next 6 months. Consider all of these, right? So all these tools are available to you whenever you want to look at a solution.
Perfect.
Mukunda, I
So-
saw a question here about esports,
Yeah.
so I'll quickly
Oh,
take that. Okay.
Please, sure.
So the question is, do we think it's hard to monetize esports viewership, considering majority of viewers themselves are not salaried professionals? So very rich question, and I'll try to give you the high-level answer. But just like your I create case, this in itself is a case study where we can spend 2 weeks arguing, debating on the possibilities. But see, the net on this is very simple. It's watch, play, compete. There is millions of users watching. There is a subset of that that's playing, and then a very small subset that is competing. So esports is the compete layer. What is beautiful about esports is they actually create content that the kids of the future are sitting and watching as if it is Netflix or Prime. And this change is happening in India, it's happening in the world. So the true value of esports is it is the engine that is pulling the play and watch forward. So imagine if as this esports develop, we can create 10,000 hours of content, which is being watched by, let's say, 50 million people. A very simple monetization strategy there is advertising. When you have that many eyeballs watching those streams, you can put advertising and you can monetize. That's just one idea. There is many other aspects of monetization embedded as in the whole ecosystem. So investing in esports doesn't mean monetizing esports. It's creating the compete, which creates play, which creates watch. And we have to think of it as an ecosystem play to really monetize. And it is about eyeballs and it is about gaming, right? So I'll just land that simple point to just kind of whet your appetite on where this can go. It is not as simple as running esports and just monetizing that exact layer. You got to think about the ecosystem play. So that would be the high level. Another day we can definitely go deeper on that topic.
Thank you so much, Adarsh. Adarsh, one last question. What is your ideal Airtel candidate? Sagar, this question is to you as well. So who's that perfect Airtel candidate that you're looking at?
I don't want to steal Sagar's thunder. You first, then I would love to add on to that.
Yeah. So one of the most important, I think, part is what we look at is curiosity, right? How curious you are, right? How kind of deep you can go into the problem and how relevant question you ask, right? So that's our core thing, curiosity. Then secondly, I think customer obsession is something I think we have been talking about. Airtel is all about customer orientation, right? We thrive because of our customers, right? So customer orientation is another part, and third is I'll say innovation, right? Come up with new ideas, right? People who are bright, come up with new ideas, right? Challenge the status quo, right? So those are top 2-3 things what we are looking at right now in these people. So curiosity, innovation, and customer obsession. So these are the things I think make an ideal candidate for Airtel.
So I'll build on that. Thanks, Sagar. So building on what Sagar said, I love working with folks who want to create, and they're very humble about that journey that they take. Because there's no questions about talent, right? You got to be smart, you got to have the energy, the drive, and there is a set of principles that we call about, like sense of urgency, your ability to recover quickly, your ability to have courage to speak the truth, right? All that's very critical. Humility kind of defines it all, because it's a group of friends at Airtel building great things that our customers love. And do we get it always right? No. I saw somebody say that Airtel is not working for them. So we will own up to that, right? For the large base that we have, there's always an error rate. There's about 4-5% that we don't get right. We want people who are very humble about that fact and constantly work towards making ourselves better, making it real, and then building for the future. That's the nature of talent we like. So remember that the humility is the baseline of being welcome at Airtel. And then your talent, your energy, we want to basically channel that, and we want to guide that to creating fantastic products. So that'll be the only layer I'll add to what Sagar kind of laid out in terms of what we're looking for.
Okay. One of the other question which is coming, do we have to solve all three, right? If you have time, do that. But I would really want you to focus on one and go deep, right? Pick up a case which you think is close to your heart and you can innovate or solve, and try to work on one. Don't spread into too many areas. But yes, if you want to do, attempt all three. That's okay.
Remember that concept, yeah, it's your 10 lakhs of money that you have to invest in that one business. Huh? So if you have time to do all three, sure, but think hard about how deep you want to go.
Perfect. I guess that's all. That's all what we have for today. Thank you, Adarsh, Abhishek, Sagar, Amandeep. Thank you so much for joining. Adarsh, Abhishek, Sagar, some closing statements. Maybe like the closing lines, if you want.
So I'll echo what Abhishek said here. I wish I was sitting on the other side, going after this case competition, right? I've done a few during my early years, and it's some of the best times I've had. So I look forward to partnering with you as you guys bring your fantastic solutions. So look forward to that.
No, absolutely. I think all the best. You are really gonna enjoy this. I mean, every time I owned up to a case, it really, I mean, it grew on me, right? And I think that's what we expect. If you really own up to the problem statement, you will really, you're gonna enjoy this. And welcome to real life, because at Airtel, this is what we do every day. We look at cases like this, we look at problem statements like this, and we try and do our best to solve them. So this is going to give you a glimpse of what working at Airtel is going to be.
Sagar?
Yeah, I think best of luck, guys, and I see a lot of enthusiasm. Some of the comments are good, some not so good, but yes, overall I see positiveness. And best of luck, and as we progress in this, we'll like to meet the winning teams. Yeah,
perfect. Thank you so much, everyone, for joining in. Thank you. And the case study is live on the D2C microsite, so you may just want to log in there and check out the case studies there. Thank you so much for your time. Thank you. See you.
See you.
Thanks.
Thanks, everybody.
Bye.
Bye.
Bye.